Being silent is often misunderstood in our modern world. In a society that's relentlessly driven by communication, technology, and constant noise, silence can feel unnatural or even uncomfortable. People often equate silence with disinterest, discomfort, or weakness. We assume that silence means a lack of something, a void, an absence. We're trained to believe that words are the key to human connection, that speaking up is the only way to be heard. Yet the real truth of being silent is far more profound. Silence isn't the absence of words. It's the presence of deeper understanding, self-awareness, and connection. Silence isn't about retreating from the world, but about engaging with it in a different, more meaningful way. The power of silence is often underestimated, but it's in the quiet moments that we can experience some of the greatest transformations in our lives. One of the most important aspects of silence is its ability to allow for deep introspection. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to lose touch with ourselves. We're constantly bombarded with information, social media, and the expectations of others. We often forget to pause and check in with our own thoughts and feelings. But silence provides a sanctuary, a space where we can reconnect with ourselves. When we choose to be silent, we create a mental and emotional space to reflect on our actions, desires, and values. It's in silence that we can take a step back and gain clarity about who we are and what we truly want out of life. Self-awareness requires us to slow down, to stop moving for a moment, and to simply be with our thoughts. In this quiet, we can confront our fears, explore our deepest aspirations, and assess the direction we're headed. It's in these still moments that we often make the most important decisions in our lives. Rather than being swept along by the current of daily life, silence allows us to find our center and make intentional choices based on our true desires. This self-reflection is powerful, but silence isn't just for looking inward, it's also an essential tool for listening. How often do we truly listen to the people around us? In a world where we're often distracted by our own thoughts or technology, the art of listening has been lost. Silence gives us the ability to listen not only to the words being spoken, but to the emotions, intentions, and unspoken truths behind those words. True listening requires us to quiet our minds, to put aside our own thoughts and judgments, and to fully absorb what the other person is communicating. Silence allows us to hear things that words alone can't convey. It helps us pick up on the subtle cues like body language, tone of voice, or facial expressions that reveal deeper meanings. By remaining silent, we create space for others to express themselves fully. We allow them to be seen and heard, and in turn, we build stronger, more authentic relationships. Silence is a powerful form of empathy, allowing us to understand others on a deeper level than simply engaging in conversation. By being silent, we invite the possibility of truly hearing what others need, feel, and think. In addition to promoting deep listening, silence can be an act of great strength. In a society that often encourages constant talking, debating, and defending one's point of view, choosing silence can feel like a radical act. But it's in silence that we often find our greatest power. Choosing not to speak, especially in moments of conflict or tension, demonstrates wisdom, emotional maturity, and restraint. Sometimes the best response to a challenging situation is not to speak, but to remain silent and observe. In doing so, we give ourselves the space to process the situation without reacting impulsively. We allow ourselves to remain calm in the face of chaos, and we create room for others to express themselves. Silence in moments of conflict is not a sign of weakness. It's an indication that we understand that words are not always the solution. There's a strength in knowing when to hold back and when to speak, and silence is often the most powerful choice. Moreover, silence is a key to patience and discernment. In a world that constantly pressures us to make decisions, give opinions, and take action, silence provides us with a rare opportunity to reflect before we act. In many situations, we might feel an urge to respond immediately, to offer an answer, share an opinion, or jump into a conversation. But silence helps us resist that impulse. It allows us to step back, consider all sides of a situation, and make a more informed and thoughtful decision. By remaining silent, we don't rush into things, but instead allow the situation to unfold in its own time. In this space, we gain greater insight, clarity, and understanding. Silence fosters a kind of emotional intelligence that is rooted in patience. It teaches us that not every moment requires an immediate response, and sometimes the best way to understand something is to simply observe and let it develop naturally. Silence also has the incredible ability to create peace. When everything around us is noisy, chaotic, or stressful, silence offers us a refuge. It's in moments of silence that we can reset our nervous systems, calm our emotions, and find balance in the midst of turmoil. In these still moments, we can gain clarity and perspective on whatever challenges we are facing. Silence provides an anchor, grounding us and helping us reconnect with a sense of inner peace. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of the world, but silence allows us to step away from that noise and find stillness within ourselves. It allows us to break free from the mental clutter that often clouds our judgment and our ability to think clearly. In silence, we can find the mental space needed to make thoughtful decisions, reflect on our emotions, and gain a sense of inner calm. Furthermore, silence plays a critical role in healing. Just as our bodies need rest to recover from physical exertion, our minds and spirits require silence to recover from emotional and mental strain. Life is full of stresses, work pressures, personal struggles, societal expectations, and these pressures can weigh heavily on our mental health. Silence offers us the opportunity to recharge. It provides the stillness we need to process our emotions, to heal from past wounds, and to regain our sense of balance. In silence, we can allow ourselves to feel without judgment, to process our grief or joy, and to find closure. It's in these quiet moments that we can reflect on our past experiences, understand their impact on us, and begin to heal. Silence creates the space needed for emotional restoration and renewal. It gives us permission to simply be without the constant need for activity or distraction. Silence is also deeply connected to creativity. When we're constantly surrounded by noise, whether from external sources or our own thoughts, it's hard to find space for creative ideas to emerge. Silence, on the other hand, clears the mental clutter and provides room for new thoughts to form. Many of the world's greatest thinkers, artists, and innovators have credited silence as a key ingredient in their creative processes. When we embrace silence, we allow our minds to wander freely, to explore new ideas, and to think outside the box. Silence encourages deep focus, allowing us to immerse ourselves fully in our creative work. It allows us to tap into our intuition and imagination in ways that noise and distraction cannot. When we quiet the external world, we create the mental space necessary to think deeply and to create something new. The real truth of being silent, then, is that silence is not an absence of something, it's a presence of everything that we need for growth, connection, and understanding. Silence allows us to reflect on who we are, to listen deeply to others, to demonstrate strength in moments of conflict, and to foster peace in our lives. Silence opens up the space for creativity, emotional healing, and personal growth. It's in silence that we find clarity, wisdom, and the power to move forward in life with intention. Silence may seem like nothing, but it is actually everything we need to find meaning in a world that is often filled with noise. In a society that values constant communication and action, silence offers a powerful counterbalance. It invites us to slow down, to listen, to reflect, and to reconnect with ourselves and others. By embracing silence, we can unlock a deeper level of understanding and create a life that is more intentional, peaceful, and fulfilling. So, the next time you find yourself in a moment of silence, don't view it as empty or uncomfortable. Instead, see it for what it truly is, a precious opportunity for growth, connection, and transformation. Silence is not a void, it is full of meaning, full of potential, and full of the wisdom that we all need to navigate the complexities of life.